less than a second. I can call it based on
Starbase 1552 Comics.
Sorry about the technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. We're back live here at the Halloween 500. Your race leader is Kyler Wynn. Meanwhile, Valente to his outside. Valike, sorry. Logan York as well as Joe Herta. Field coming back to green. Valike gets the jump here on the restart. He'll get well clear. Herta right behind him, but they call it about a car length gap. Meanwhile, Kyler Wynn. Valike drops down to the bottom in front of Wynn for the meanwhile.
Valike's going to put the block on him, so here comes Kyler Wynn. He's going to try to roll right here on this bottom side. Herrera up here on the top trying to get the shove from him. How about Cody Nagels back up here in this fight after all the hell he has been through in that number 6. But now Wynn going to jump to the top and try to go for the lead.
Meanwhile, drivers battling back and forth here. Really tight, call it about 10 cars. They're broken away from the lead pack. Valike on the bottom, Wynn on the top, Herta and York second in line for each. And then Paul Witt's right there in that 429 machine. McCullough and Cody Neagles still there. He's trying to work his way back up to the front as Valike jumps to the top here in 3 and 4.
We'll see how this ends up working out. Now Valike trying to hold it down as much as he possibly can. Now we got another caution. Caution is out, looking back through the field, not really seeing who it was. Had to be way the hell back there in the back because I don't see anything right here. Might have been, Tyler, it might have been one of them damn debris cautions for another one.
Yeah, it's feel like this has been how the race has gone, but Valike is still the leader. Wynn, and then York, and then you have Witt, Huerta, Neagles still inside the top 10. Cody Neagles has had a hell of a race. He's gone from the back to the front to the back to the front, but involved a couple of wrecks as well, but he's still inside the top 10 here, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing a pretty good job of that. Sorry about the technical issues, folks. Hopefully everyone has liked and subscribed to the Nashville 360 Racing Network and saw the new stream up, so hopefully everybody will be around for the finish here tonight. But, yeah, I mean, Cody has went through, like I said, I mean, he's literally went through hell and back to be able to get back up here and have a shot. And Paul Witt in the 429, he's went through hell and back to try to get up here at the front. He started 30th, but he's up here going to be sitting 4th. How about Logan York? He was an innocent bystander a while ago, Tyler, and now he's up here in prime position trying to get this sucker done right here coming up on 10 to go.
Yeah, this race is just really all about attrition, Jacob. I mean, and Wesley, you can chime in here. I know we lost some of your cameras there on the backstretch.
Yeah, I don't have no camera angle, guys. Yeah.
But
I'm just listening.
A race of attrition so far tonight.
It has, man. It's been that way all night long, and it seems like from the start of this race at the drop of the green, it has been that way. Everybody, okay, I got a monitor back in front of me. My apologies. It has been that way, and for everybody that's chiming in, strap in, hold on tight. I think this reset can help make you skip the first 3.5 hours of the first of the race. You know, it was good. Don't get me wrong. It was a great one. Go check out the replay. But my goodness, I think even the broadcast stream crashed because it's so exhausted of the yellow and the caution flags. So we're ready to bridle this thing here. It's going to be an exciting last 13 laps or so. And, man, I don't know who could listen, anybody can win this thing. I'm telling you, I'm exhausted trying to say who can get this win here. And there's new names now, Tyler and Jacob, that are popping up in this. Hey, there goes Michael Myers' car. Scott, here he comes, right back in the dance again. So it's not over yet, guys.
Yeah, Steven Scott and John Ward are back inside the top 10. Then you have Tucker McClendon, a new name. He sits 11th. Malik Ray, after some damage, he's back in 13th. But a lot of the big names have been up front. They're still up front. Joshua McCullough, he sits 15th. We have 25 cars still on the lead lap right now here at Daytona. And we're going to probably have about 10 laps to go by the time we go green.
Yeah, that's going to get real good on that one. And, you know, I'll piggyback off of what Wesley was saying about, just the damn stream giving out. I mean, it made it as long as it did. I mean, it really did. It made it as long as it did. So we got to give the props on that one. And big shout out to Cody Knott for all that he does with the Nashville 360 Racing Network and just putting up with it all night long. And, I agree. The first 3.5 hours was good. I mean, it really was. It was a damn good race all the way up to this point. But this is going to be what everybody's going to want to see it right here, Tyler. This is going to want to see. This is when everybody's going to watch and see who's going to take home that $700 prize for the win. Because I'll say this, you make it 500 miles after all this, you deserve to get paid at that point.
Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, while we were off, actually you missed no green flag action, so it looked like a single car incident at the back of the field. Everhart was involved. Baker got the EOL for it, so those two drivers involved. Garrett Maines now at the back of the field as well from the earlier incident. But like we said, 25 drivers on the lead lap still. One driver, one lap down. That's Mark Vondell. He's in 26th. Edward Marshall is 2 down in 27th. But they're running out of time to make up those laps, as we should have 10 to go by the time we go green here. And if you thought the first 4 hours was crazy, well, buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, because it's going to get even crazier.
Oh, and by the way, remember, there's 3 attempts at overtime if need be also.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, wow.
Really? You had to go there, didn't you?
I'm sorry. I just,
you had to go there, didn't you?
It's a scream fest. What can I say,
Well, I mean, honestly, I don't think we'll if everything gets straightened out right here, guys, I think we'll be able to have us a good green flag finish. And, like you said, with the 3 overtime deals that we got and everything. But
yeah.
I think this is still going to turn out to be one hell of a finish because, if we look back, from what I did earlier this year, the Podium 500, it had its share of cautions. It was a long race. It really was. But at the end, it was a damn near photo finish, and Kyler Wynn got the win. Now check this out. Kyler, remember, Wesley, we talked about this. Started on the pole, first lap, went below the yellow line, dropped all the way to the back to stay out of all the chaos. He saved himself right here. He's up there at the front. He's got a shot.
Here we go. Ready to see what happens here. Ready to watch Felique and Win. I think somebody earlier in the first stream was talking about watch the Win machine. Watch him make his climb up there. Here he comes. And he's right there ready to bring the field back to the green flag. It is not over yet. By the way, I think if anybody, you mentioned a run to the finish green flag. There's one guy in the chat box, Jacob, that does not want that to happen. That is Thomas Parker. He is right now 5 of 6 for the cautions after the last 100 miles, I think it was. And he is 1 away. So the over-under is now in favor by 1 for Thomas Parker if he gets that caution. So, Tyler, 10 to go. It has all come down to this. 20 miles left at Daytona, boss.
Yep, let's set the stage. Felique, Wynn, York, Witt, Neagles, Huerta, Guerrero, McCullough, Scott Jr., Ward. That's your top 10. Felique, the leader. He took the outside lane. Geico restart zone. He gets a big shove from Witt. He gets a good jump. Meanwhile, it looks like Wynn got a bad jump. Will Witt be able to clear it? Cody Neagles is going to look to push and maybe make it 3 wide early on. Meanwhile, Guerrero's behind Neagles as they work their way towards 1 and 2.
Looks like Paul Witt is going to stay up on that top side. Nope, thought different of it. He's going to jump down in front of Kyler Wynn. Now Cody Neagles, he is going to be in the catbird seat. We've seen how fast he is. The only problem is the whole back end looks like he backed into a damn headlight, or excuse me, a light pole at Walmart doing about 90 miles an hour. But here comes Paul Witt on the outside.
The back straightaway now, Felique now shows his strength when it counts the most. Some guys going below the double yellow line. They hold their line, though. Here comes that 429 up the outside, and he gets third. Felique gets airborne, flies through the air. They're scrambling. They're panicking. They're all crashing as the field implodes from within on the front row.
Felique and Witt. Big trouble. Witt's involved. Meanwhile, Malik Ray's involved. Freeze is involved. Other drivers as well.
Matthew Lee.
Garrett Maines may have got through. Matthew Lee is in. Everhart's involved as well. All the big names except for Kyler Wynn and Cody Neagles looked like they're involved in that crash. Big trouble here at Daytona.
It looked like a bad bump draft wrong in the corner. You just don't bump somebody going into the corner, and that's exactly what started this, Jacob. But again, you're coming to the end of the race.
Yeah, I mean, and that is violent. Right there, that's one of the more violent wrecks that I've seen. Yeah, that's what it was. Right rear hook. There was a little bit of door banging between, I believe, Paul Witt and Kyler Wynn, but at the same time, that is one of the more violent wrecks that I've seen on iRacing. And folks, I talked about this the other night on one of the broadcasts that we did here on the National 360 Racing Network. Is with wrecks like that, granted we're on a sim, but you can still get hurt. You know, the wheel can probably snap out of your hand the wrong way. You know, I've heard of people having sprained wrists, broken wrists, broken fingers. You know, the wheel getting caught right there with their fingers. So, you know, that hard of a hit, you know, him trying to turn it that way and then maybe the wheel snapped out or whatever. I really hope he's okay. And I know that sounds kind of crazy to say that about a sim race, you know, about iRacing and everything, but you can get hurt doing this, folks. I mean, it's not going to be life-threatening, but, I mean, you can get hurt doing this.
I've said it in iRacing. I say it in real life as well, Tyler. I am against the right rear hook. They need to just abolish it. If you do it, you're done, in my opinion.
Yeah, it looks like what happened, though, based on everything that we've heard from race control, is that wind got into the back bumper, and that caused Felipe to shoot up a little bit, and then Wick kind of gets into the right rear. Wow. It doesn't look like an intentional hook at all. It definitely came from Wynn giving him a shove like you originally thought.
Nobody's going to get penalized, right? No EOL. It's a racing incident, basically.
Wynn's come down pit road, so he's going to the back of the field. We'll see how that works out for the 82 machine, but he's come down pit road because he was one of those drivers who pit a long, long time ago. Wasn't expecting any green-white checkers, and we are probably going in that direction, ladies and gentlemen. But it has been chaos. We'll see how many drivers remain on the lead lap after that incident, but Felipe and Bondell are definitely done for the night. A couple other drivers probably are as well. So you look at the field as they're trying to get reorganized. But right now, your leader, Cody Neagles, Joe Huerta, Logan York, Chris McCullough, and Vincent Guerrero are your top 5 as they run. And, man, it's been a crazy, crazy race.
Yeah, it's been a spook fest.
Yeah.
It's been a virtual spook fest, just saying. We're not done yet.
No, we're not done. We're not done by a mile. And, you know, I mean, it's Daytona. I mean, you know, it is what it is. You throw money on the line. I mean, you're going to have aggressive racing. You're going to have guys do crazy things. And, you know, I agree with you on that time. That's just a racing deal right there with just how it worked out right there. You know, we are seeing, you know, that there may be a little bit of different opinions on this because Kyler's saying that, you know, in the chat, Kyler's saying that it wasn't on him. And actually, yes, they're going to give him the EOL for that, but some of them out there in the live chat saying that it's going to be on the 82. So mixed opinions, mixed emotions, I guess you could say, for all this, which can be controversial right here at the end of 500 miles here tonight at Daytona.
Yeah, as we get closer and closer, about 20 miles remaining here tonight. It looks like only about 20 cars on the lead lap after that incident. The field started off at 50. We're down to 20. We're going to get double file here and try this one more time. It'll be 6 to go at green, Wesley.
All right. The lights are off on that pace car. And remember, there is still a chance at overtime, if need be, hanging in the balance of this one. And there's new names that we mentioned that are up here battling. Some guys like Herta and others, Freeze, that were up there earlier, fell back in the saddle again, and when it counts the most. Right now, lights off on the back straightaway as the field is ready to come down the back stretch. Those butterflies beginning to settle, but dollar brains flashing right now on all of these guys' minds as you're on the cusp of literally picking up a $700 payday. And as we mentioned, the Halloween 500 here tonight at Daytona, I want to encourage you also to join us on the NASRA 360 Racing Network, not only for our coverage Monday through Friday, Tyler and Jacob, but also the big race next will be a special for NASRA Friday, November 29th. Black Friday 500, I think is what I was told. Talladega. It's going to be a big event on, again, Friday, November 29th. Here you go, Tyler. Ready to see what happens here in the restart box this time around.
Yep, top 10 as they run. Cody Neagles, Logan York, Vincent Guerrero, Joe Herta, Chris McCullough, John Ward, Steven Scott, Kevin Fries, Danny Barnes in the 9th position. First time we've talked about him tonight. And Mike Davenport, your top 10. Cody Neagles leading the field to the restart zone as the virtual iRacing pace car pulls hard left down pit road. Neagles in the Geico zone. He gets a good jump. He's got Guerrero right behind him. Logan York's going to fall back a little bit. Hopefully Herta gets to him here soon.
We'll see how it works out. Now Neagles is going to jump up there on the top side, try to block this advance from Logan York. York tags him straight into the back bumper. Guerrero all by himself down there. Now he's going to get a little bit of help in the form of Christopher McCullough. Here comes Kevin Freeze on this inside lane, but Neagles up on the top side getting the shove from Logan York as here comes Guerrero on the inside.
Didn't somebody earlier in the first 3-4 hour broadcast say Cody Neagles for the win? Look at him now at this time, up in front, leads the way, pulls up in front of Herder. Meanwhile, McCullough, also Freeze, they hook up on the bottom with some more drivers. Neagles leads them all 4.
Yeah, the lead packs down to about, let's call it 12, 13 cars. Meanwhile, Garrett Maines, he's back with the lead group. Call him the 5th car on the outside lane. They're looking for space. Meanwhile, Guerrero gives a shove to Logan York. Herda gives a shove to Cody Neagles. They're side by side.
5 to go here at Daytona. Who wants the $700 payday? Cody Neagles up top. He's got Herrera right behind him. Logan York is going to shoot out to the lead, and he's going to have Guerrero right behind him off 2.
And look at Logan York now. Here's a name that people said plain watch. It's York. Now Neagles, and Cody Neagles will battle back on the outside. Stack them up again. Herder, McCullough, Guerrero, names that we haven't mentioned up on the outside. And here comes Michael Myers. Scott tries to go 3 wide off 4.
That's really tight there. Not a lot of space as the rest of the field comes together. The remaining lead lap cars pushing hard. Garrett Maines second in line behind Scott. He's trying to get him up to the lead. Meanwhile, Neagles and York side by side for the lead.
All the chips in the center of the table. Here comes the 77. Stevens.
Oh, no.
Right back here. Big cars getting took out. One of them up in the air over on its sled. Caution is out here tonight at Daytona once again, and we're going to overtime. Wesley, you jinxed us.
Breeze into the big red machine of the 55. Everyone else piles in from there. The good wrench number 3 colors. Did Garrett Maines get a piece of it? No, that's another car. Wow.
Maines is well clear, yep.
Yes. Oh, my. Here we go, guys. Wynn caught up in it. There's Scott again. Michael Myers. Wow. Wow.
And this means overtime, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. Here we go. Going into overtime. Sometimes we call it free racing, but man, this has been a long race. I think we're at, what, 20 caution flags now?
Yeah, at least. Kenneth McCullough, Joshua McCullough, both involved. Freeze is involved. A lot of drivers' nights are done. We may have only about 12, 13 cars in the lead lap now, Wesley and Jake.
Well, yeah, and I'm also seeing in there Thomas Parker's chiming in the live chat. Gonna have 10 cars finished right here. So, that's a big deal. And he's saying something about Sizemore. I've been seeing a lot about Sizemore.
I have Sizemore as being many laps down.
Yeah, Sizemore's 105 down, so I don't know what they're seeing.
Yeah, Jennifer Johnson's rooting on Sizemore, I think. And I think that's just a little, I will say it again in the previous stream. I'll say it again here now. There was a lot of confusion with the names and the numbers not matching, and I think that might be confusing some people on the ticker. A matter of fact, you guys are in the iRacing stream right now. Something we haven't done is give a full field rundown. So, Tyler, Jacob, why don't y'all give a full field rundown of where everybody is on the racetrack currently?
Gladly. Right now, your race leader, Logan York. He'll have John Ward second, Cody Neagles third. Garrett Maines sits in the 4th position. 5th will be Vincent Guerrero. Then you have Vincente Guerrero, correction. Joe Herta will be in 6th. Chris McCullough, 7th. Danny Barnes, 8th. Daniel Eberhardt, 9th. And Malik Ray, your top 10.
Looks like Matthew Lee, actually, he's going down pit road at this time. We're seeing right there Danny Barnes. He's going to be up here in this mix as well. A couple of other drivers. All of them went down pit road. I was trying to go down my iRacing to see where they was at, but looks like Kenneth McCullough, he's in the pits as well. A lot of these guys may be going in right here for this final time right here, maybe to try to get damage fixed. Honestly, Tyler, because, like I said, all hell just ended up breaking loose right there going through 1 and 2. So a lot of them probably having to fix damage right here to get their cars lined back up and get back out here on the racetrack.
Yeah, we'll get a full field rundown when we get the 1 to green, Wesley. But, Wesley, this has been a crazy race so far. Danny Barnes, by the way, making through. We haven't talked about him pretty much at all tonight. He sits in the 8th position there. He is chilling with an opportunity to get a big payday. Let's talk about Corey Buskirk. He was 3 laps down at one point. He sits in 12th still on the lead lap.
Yeah, really good, strong efforts from these guys. A lot of them playing in the back. John Ward, by the way, look at the 92, right back up in the saddle again as well in the Hellraiser machine. He's right here, ready to make a charge when it counts the most. Obviously, we mentioned the York driver, and you see his machine right there on the inside of the racetrack, ready now to settle it. But obviously, overtime has different rules than the regular scheduled distance, Tyler. We need to explain it to our audience if they're new to coverage on the NASRA 360 Racing Network.
Yep, green, white, checkered, 2-lap shootout to the finish. The caution comes out before the white flag. We rack them, stack them, and do it again. But if the leaders take the white, the race is official. Next flag ends it, and that flag will be the checkered flag. Whoever out in front, yet to be seen. But we do have 3 attempts at the green, white, checkered here tonight, as we are now about to get the 1 to go. We'll get a full field rundown real quick here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Your race leader, Logan York, John Ward 2nd, Cody Neagles 3rd, Garrett Maines 4th, Vincent Guerrero 5th, Joe Herta 6th, Christopher McCullough 7th, Danny Barnes 8th, Daniel Everhart 9th, Malik Ray, your top 10.
Then Matthew Lee's going to be in 11th with Joshua McCullough will be in P12. Good run for him. Started 41st. He's all the way up there in 12. How about Corey Buzzkirk? I'm going to get that name wrong, but we may end up wanting to get it right because he's still got a shot to win this thing on the lead lap. Sitting in P13 with Tucker McClendon will be in P14. Kevin Freeze, we saw him very strong up here at the front. We'll see if he can get back up there and get it done. He's sitting in P15. Edward Marshall in P16 with Christopher Carter in P17. Kenneth McCullough Jr. sitting in P18 with Kyler Wynn back out there on the track. Not the night that he was hoping for. He will be in P19, and Mike Davenport on pit road, 1 lap down, sitting in 20th.
21st will be Mark Vondell, 2 laps down. Stephen Scott Jr. as well as 2 laps down. Then you have Dylan Jones, Evan Carlborn, Paul Witt, Jared Haynes, Landon Felique, Matthew Baker, Brian Hennings, and Richard Elliott, all multiple laps down. That's your top 30.
And James Wagner will be in 31st with Christopher Melton in 32nd. Rest of these guys, I mean, a lot of these guys probably have already backed out of the session multiple laps down. John Mollahan, who was going to have a strong run here tonight, unfortunately, he will finish in the 33rd spot. Mike George, I put the curse on him, so he'll end up finishing in 34th. With Trevor Aswarnoth will be in 35th. He's actually still out there on the track, but he's 54 laps down. Devin Ray, Michael Allen, Michael Schaefer, James Warning, and J.R. Miller. That's the top 40 as we're getting ready for a restart right here. Green, white, checkered.
Hold your breath. That's all I can say, Tyler.
Yep, here we go. Logan York, gets to the green. Did not remember to key in. My apologies. Logan York gets a good jump. Cody Neagles behind him. John Ward to the outside. Vicente Guerrero, and Garrett Maines, your top 5 as they roll. Green flag is out. 2 laps to settle it here at Daytona.
York's going to jump up to the top side. Tries to put the block on Ward now. Cody Neagles right behind him on that inside lane. Guerrero down here with Garrett Maines. Watch out for that 45, showing 12. He's got a shot right here, Wesley.
Nagels on the outside lane. He gets the big push to the lead. Everybody aggressively behind them, pushing, shoving. York, Nagels, Ward, they're all going at it now as they work into turn number 3. They're looking for a white flag lap. This time by. Winner takes all when they come back around next time.
Malik Ray, Joshua McCullough on that outside lane, making it 3 wide. Meanwhile, John Moore gets a big shove from Garrett Maines. Meanwhile, Joe Huerta, they're sitting 3rd on the outside lane. White flag, next flag ends it, Jacob.
Last time going through 1 and 2, and it is all John Ward. Here comes Maines, jumps down, almost turns himself off the front bumper of Logan York. Maines goes to the front here at Daytona. Ward gets shot from Herta, and here comes Maines for the final time off turn 2.
Names of what Kyler Reddick did on the back straightaway at Homestead to win to go to the championship 4. Garrett Maines does the same here in the Halloween 500. He's about to put everybody in a nightmare mode as they work into turn 3 for the final time.
Logan York trying to push Garrett Maines clear. $700 to the winner. Garrett Maines is well cleared. He's going to block John Ward. Yes, he is. No, John Ward gets to his outside. Meanwhile, Maines gets the push. They're going to be tight at the line. It's going to be... Oh, Maines wins it.
Ward.
No,
John
Ward crashing. John Ward has won the race,
John
guys.
Ward has won.
Wow.
Zero right here, guys. Literally
Wow.
0, the same distance of what it was when I beat Chris Blanchard on the Cops Truck Series at Atlanta. Literally 0 across the line. John Ward gets the win here tonight at Atlanta or Daytona over Garrett Maines. What a finish right there, boys.
Friday
Wow.
the 13th has came to Nasbra on October the 27th. Jason Voorhees' car, John Ward, has came back through the nightmares to win the race. And look at this one. Garrett Maines, I don't think he realized how fast that outside lane was coming after him. What a finish. After all the craziness, after all the crashes, after all the calamity, the spooktacular comes down to a shocking moment, Tyler, right there at the line. Are you kidding me? Are you not entertained in iRacing?
Wow, I thought Maines had it, but John Ward with a big shove from Huerta on that outside. When he got to the outside, and I thought Maines came down in front of York, he was going to get clear, but no. Wow, what a drive there from John Ward. He gets the job done at the line. But look at this finish, ladies and gentlemen. If you stuck around for 4+ hours, you got treated to an amazing ending here at Daytona. Look at this.
Guys,
Garrett
I want you to watch
Maines.
something. Look at this one more time. Cody, rewind it one more time for me, buddy. Rewind it right about there. Right here. Put it in play. Watch the one of Huerta. He gives him a shove as he gets pushed to the bottom and bounces off the York car. That little push right there, Tyler and Jacob, was all John Ward needed to win this race. That help from Huerta, I give him some of the money because that's the money shot that got him to victory lane right there.
What a finish here at Daytona. Wow, just absolutely unbelievable.
One word, boys. Damn. That's a finish right there. I agree with you, Wesley and Tyler. If you stuck around for 4 hours right there, you got treated to a great finish right there. That is something right there to see. That is awesome.
All down to this at the end of the race, at the end of even 2 streams, because the first one got exhausted and, broke down, if you will. The rat hamster came off the wheel. All of this comes down to a 000. What was it? 0001, I think it is. Is that what it was, guys? I'm thinking on timing and scoring. 0001.
Well, everything only goes to the thousandths, and they had him as a dead heat. But you see clearly there, Ward gets just a slither of that splitter out in front of Garrett Maines, and he's going to burn it down here at Daytona. $700 to John Ward. What a finish, Jacob.
And I love it that a Halloween car theme won the race, Jake, as well.
Yeah, that's the big thing about it. John Ward could actually hang this one on his resume that he won the Halloween 500. And not only that, won it over Garrett Maines. Granted, there's going to be people that's going to say, well, yeah, he beat him at Daytona. Daytona, it is one of them things. It doesn't make a damn. You win a race, especially with this caliber against that caliber of a driver, that means something right there, folks. I will guarantee you right there on that, and I believe Wesley and Tyler will both back me up on that. It means something when you go 500 miles and you beat one of the best in iRacing by that much right there. He's going to remember that one for a long time.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, I agree. Called a lot of iRacing in my career, in my 30-year real announcing career as well, Tyler. And, man, when you can put this on your belt, man, this is something special right here. Definitely cherish this moment.
Yeah, we're going to talk with your top 3 finishers here shortly, but what a finish. You saw John Ward gets the win, Garrett Maines second, Joe Huerta third, Logan York finishes 4th, Danny Barnes 5th, Cody Neagles 6th, 7th goes to Malik Ray, Matthew Lee 8th, Vincente Guerrero finishes 9th, and Joshua McCullough rounding out your top 10.
Another one of the McCullough boys finishes 11th from a pretty good starting spot, I guess you could say. 44th, he will finish 11th, that being Christopher McCullough. Tucker McClendon will end up finishing in P12 after starting 38. Daniel Eberhardt will get 13th. Kevin Freeze, we saw him up at the front. Looked like he was going to have a good night. Unfortunately, will finish 14th. Your pole sitter here tonight, Kyler Wynn, he ain't going to be able to get it done here tonight. He's going to finish 15th with Kenneth McCullough Jr. finishing in 16th. Edward Marshall in 17th. Corey Buzzkirk will end up finishing in 18th. Christopher Carter will get 19th, the last driver to finish on the lead lap, and Mark Vondel will round out the top 20.
Mike Davenport will finish in 21st. Steven Scott Jr., the Michael Myers machine, will have to settle for Halloween in 22nd. Matthew Baker, 23rd. Dylan Jones, Evan Carlborn, Paul Witt, some names that are all the way in the back, multiple laps down or more. Jared Haynes, Landon Velike, what it could have been for the orange and purple 62, crashed at the end of things. Richard Elliott, Brian Hennings now, Tyler, your top 30.
Yeah, looking at the rest of the field here, James Wagoner, Christopher Melton, John Mollahan, who was running well but really struggled in traffic. We saw him get around at one point as well. Trevor Aswanoff, Mike George, Devin Ray, Michael Allen, Michael Schaefer, James Waring, and J.R. Miller, your top 40 as we look at the last 10 drivers of this race. Zach Range, Justin Miller, Heath Job, Chase Mistretta, Chris Blanchard, Steve Sizemore, Rick Schneider, Jeff Merck, Terry Wilson, and Bobby Rachel finishing many, many laps down, wrecked out quite early.
Hey, guys, we found who they were talking about with Sizemore finally.
Exactly. Well, we'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with your top 3 to talk with them, especially your winner, John Ward, right after this.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations.
Back live here at the virtual Daytona International Speedway for the Halloween 500 that just concluded. And Jacob Reeves is standing by in victory lane with the race winner, John Ward. Or maybe we lost Jacob Reeves. John, I gotta say, I originally thought Garrett Maines had it, but you came back right at the line, sneaking out the iRacing timing and scoring had as a .000 at the line. Tell me what was going through your head there on that last lap.
Yeah, it was good to get the win. On the last lap there, I was just hoping not to wreck. I was just hoping to get a good finish, good clean finish. But anytime you can get the win, it's really good. And I got the run out of 4. I jumped high, and Joe Herter was behind me, gave me a good push. I knew Garrett was going to block, and I was going to try to get a run on him. Anyway, I got beside him, and I watched the replay. It looked like a tie to me, but I barely got out in front of him and got the win. And it was good feeling, man. I ain't been in victory lane in a long time.
Yeah, it was a very long race tonight, John, and we talked about, well over 4 hours. What's it like trying to keep focus, especially at the end when you have just a green-white checker to settle it after 200 laps?
Let me tell you what, you got to have a lot of focus. You got to have longevity. You got to be focused the whole time. Like, you get EOLs, and there's new rules and everything going on, and it's a lot to keep up with, and you got your teammates and everything going on. You just got to stay on top of your game, make sure you get your pit stops right and get on the right sequence, and try not to get no black flags and, no holds, and that's the main thing.
Well, I believe my co is up here back in the booth. Jacob, We're talking with the race winner, John Ward. I mean, you had a great reaction to the finish. Anything you got for our race winner here tonight? Oh, maybe he still has technical difficulties, John. Well, I apologize for my lack of co-host, or he's trying to get back in. But, John, before we let you go tonight, is there anyone that you would like to thank or anything else you have from this race?
I just want to say, I mean, it was overall, it was a good. I mean, it is what it is. A lot of yellows, but it was a good race for the most part. And I want to thank you guys for broadcasting. I thank MMS, them guys putting the race on. Without them, we wouldn't even have had the race. My team, Hyper Motorsports, and everything. Just it was a real good run for us.
Well, we appreciate taking the time to talk with us, John. And again, congratulations. Big $700 payday for you. What are you going to do with that money?
I'm probably going to get a sim rig. I got a little desk and a chair. I need to get a little rig, and maybe that's what I'm going to do with it. Get me a little rig.
Hell yeah. Well, again, congratulations on the win, and thanks for spending some time with us. Go enjoy that win.
You got it, man. Thank you.
We're now going to be joined by the former eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series driver, I believe currently in the Contender Series, Garrett Maines. Garrett, you finished second. You had a great run, led a ton of laps. Was there anything else you could have done there other than maybe wreck yourself off the front of John Ward when he got to your outside off of 4?
I think that's about the only other option there. I mean, I was hoping, I'd be able to move up and catch a little bit of a run from him and move back down, but man, I almost put myself in no man's land and cost myself even more. So I don't know. I was in an impossible situation. If I stayed on the bottom, I definitely had no shot. If I moved up, I was taking a high risk. I didn't want to cause a wreck. And the more he moved up, the higher the risk was of causing it. So I was just like, I don't want to do that. And I moved back down. It was almost too late for that. But, man, to come up, literally short of, an inch or two, it's quite disappointing. But, we really shouldn't have even been back in the hunt there. I kind of got a lot of miracles there with how the cautions fell and how the runs, formed up. So I will definitely take what I got.
Yeah, you mentioned kind of the chaos of the race. We saw you working with Malik Ray and Kyler Wynn throughout most of that race. Was there a lot of strategy and discussions between the three of you, obviously being very well known in the iRacing circuit as well as on eNASCAR?
Yeah, funny enough, we actually don't work together, but we were sure as heck up there together most of the night. It was, for the first half, it was me, Cody, and then Malik, and actually I don't think Kyler got into that picture until a little bit later. It kind of when Cody got cycled out, it became Kyler, but man, it was a brawl there for a very long time. And once I got Kevin up there, we were really doing some good work up there, just able to stay in control. But once he got wrecked, it was a lot of chaos, and unfortunately the netcode got me and Kyler tied up, and that pretty much junked me, and I had to fix all the damage, go back to the tail. And if it wasn't for supreme ARCA braking, I don't think I would have had quite the opportunity that I did at the end. But I got on the brakes for one of the big wrecks where somebody literally got sent into the turn 4 wall and went helicoptering after that. But man, I hit the brakes. I just watched 10 cars just funnel straight into this crash and just pile in. And I skated by, probably gained 10 spots on that crash. So I think that was kind of the turning point where instead of me having to pick through the whole field, they kind of just barreled into it for me, and I was able to scoot by without any damage. And then I was in kind of, striking distance. I was able to work the top 3 wide with Ward to get to the front, which was just good timing. He hopped up when I was thinking it and just went straight to the front. Timing with the caution was perfect too. It came out right as we got to the front row. So basically that last green white checkered stint was, the outcome of that move.
Yeah, and obviously, I believe you're right now going through the Contender Series, trying to get your way back into the NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series. What does it mean, just to kind of go out and run these longer races and kind of try some things out? Especially, I believe the Contender Series also runs the Xfinity car, correct?
Correct, and I think what happens is I burn up all my luck in these races, and I go in there, and all the crashes I missed in here, I make up for it in those, because I'm pretty sure I can put together a 30 or 60 second clip of just every single crash I got involved in the last race, just that one alone. So if we could turn that around for the rest of the year and hopefully start getting some luck on our side, that'd be great. It's just honestly the races are a sprint format. It's very hard to pass in this car. You can't really get close to the right rear as you saw tonight. You can't really push. it makes it so hard to make things happen. And if you don't start on the front row, you're kind of, at the mercy of other people. So we'll see how it goes the rest of the year. But I mean, big picture is you just got to finish top 30 in that series, and I'm trying to do what I can to represent while I'm there. But at the same time, keep in mind, it's not who wins it. It's it's a top 30 deal.
Yeah, you mentioned that. I think maybe my co-host is in here. Jake, we got you back, buddy?
Yeah. We finally got back. Yeah, computer froze up after about 4 hours, so usually that kind of stuff happens. But I guess. But I mean, Garrett. I mean, obviously, it's close. Closest finish. I mean, have you ever been in a closer finish than that right there?
That is about as close as it gets. I think. I mean, this group is probably some of the best super speedway racers on here, and pretty much a bunch of the same people were in the other one that comes to mind. It was 3x3x3. All dead ties, like across the line. 3-way tie for the front row, the next row, and the next row. So I think that's about as close as it gets. But just insane racing in here, coming to the end there. Just everybody kept it clean. I was kind of expecting some turmoil coming off at turn 4, but nobody stepped over the line. So definitely, cool to see a clean finish.
Well, Garrett, we appreciate you coming here talking with us here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to thank, and final thoughts on the race tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Big thank you to Kenneth McCullough for putting it on, and also shout out to Scott at MCU Body. Big thank you to the guys at Ryko Performance for all their support all season long, and also shout out to Lennox.
Well, we appreciate taking the time, Garrett. We wish you the best of luck throughout the rest of the year in I believe it's called the Pro Series, not the Contender Series. But wishing you the best of luck there, and hopefully we see you back in the NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series next season.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, we were going to have Joe Huerta on as our third place finisher, but do not see him anymore. He was in the waiting room. We'll have to see if he ever makes it back. But Jacob, final thoughts on this race. It's been a marathon.
One word, long. That's about all you could really say. I mean, honestly, Tyler, I mean, it was a long one. Started at 6 p.m. Eastern time, and it's 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. But, I mean, that's what you're going to get out of a 500-mile race, 200 laps at Daytona. You get your chaos. We saw, we seen what we usually would see, I guess you could say, even with, the concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series or DSR Electric, whatever it is. You got your long green flag run. You got your chaos. You got your wrecks. You probably had some beef out there on the track. I wouldn't doubt that one bit. But the main thing is that everybody stuck around for 4 hours, and they saw a hell of a finish. I mean, they really did. 000 at that point. I mean, I don't even know how they would record it at that point and figure out who gets to win. But, I mean, shout out to John Ward, all of them, all the McCullough boys for putting this on right here, because it was an absolute pleasure. Even though it's cutting into my bedtime and I got to work tomorrow, but it still was a hell of a show, and it was a great pleasure to be up here with you and Wesley.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun time, all three of us in the booth. Again, huge shout out to our producer, Cody Knott, for getting us sights and sounds, as well as recovering the stream after some technical issues after a 4+ hour race and stream. We'd like to thank everyone who tuned in for those 4+ hours on 2 different streams. It was a crazy race here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. The Halloween 500 goes to John Ward in a nail-biting finish over Garrett Maines. We appreciate all of y'all tuning in. We wish you all a great evening and a happy and spooky Halloween. Good night, everyone.